Hey guys, this video is going to be about exercises to help with knee arthritis. So if you've been told that you have arthritis in your knees, you're experiencing that stiffness, that pain, that lack of mobility in the knees, which then results in a lack of strength and a lack of just overall use of your knees, these exercises may be beneficial for you. If you have that stiffness in the morning, that stiffness in the knee when you first get up in the morning where it's hard for you to move and you feel like you have to warm it up, you have to move it a little bit, and the more you move, the better it gets. It usually lasts about 30 minutes to an hour. This is something that will also be helpful for you as well. The first thing I'm going to show you is how to mobilize your own knee into extension, meaning it helps with straightening. If you have a knee that's not completely straight, meaning if you take the leg up on the table and it's not completely flat, the bottom of the knee is not coming close to the top of the table, then we're lacking extension. So if you rest your leg and it looks like this, then this technique would benefit you. So what you do is I'm gonna use a armrest from the table. You basically could use anything to just prop up your ankle. Put it at the end there. And what you could do is, if there's space underneath, you can, first thing first is you gotta stay as relaxed as possible, and you wanna apply pressure down this way, not that way or this way. You wanna go straight down in line with the axis of the joint. So applying a little bit of pressure, and you can oscillate depending on what you can tolerate on your own. And you can do this for up to a minute or so. And this will help with knee extension. As you do this, after a minute or so, and you feel like it's a little bit looser, what you can do is you can reinforce it yourself with a quad set, and all you have to do is just squeeze this muscle and push the knee down to the table. So if there's space underneath, if I put my hand here, I'm basically pushing my knee into my hand. And when I do that, I tighten up my quad. As I tighten up my quad, I'm pushing my knee into extension to help really solidify that range of motion that I just gained from me working on it myself. So the next exercise is a self-flexion mob, which helps with bending of the knee. If you're somebody who's lacking full bending of the knee, or your bending on one knee is not the same compared to the other side, and you'll know if you're trying to squat down, or if you're sitting down on a low chair and one knee doesn't bend as far as the other, this is something that's also beneficial for you. So what you can do, you start in this position, and you can first of all bend the knee, and as you bend the knee, you want to bring the knee towards you. So I'm going to take one hand below the knee. So I'm going to feel my kneecap. I'm going to find my kneecap. My kneecap's about right here. Okay? Just find the kneecap and then go right beneath that. So you'll basically be right on top of the tibia and below the joint line if you're kind of below the kneecap. And you can kind of grab onto this, and you grab onto this. And what you do is when you can bring the heel towards you by bending the knee. But when you do that, you turn your shin this way. Apply a little bit of force going this way, and then bring it out. As you bring it out, you relax the rotation. The reason for this is because when your knee bends, your shin has to rotate this way to create the maximum amount of bending for your knee. So again, you bring it in, and then you turn. You don't need to do this super hard. I'm not applying a ton of pressure on my own knee, but I'm just applying what we call like an internal rotation force on the knee. So this is a self-flexion mobilization for your knee. You just take it, bring it in. Take it, apply a little pressure, bring it in. This arm, I'm rotating it this way. I'm taking my shank and my shin, and I'm rotating it this way. And this arm, I'm taking it and I'm rotating it this way. So I'm taking the entire leg and turning it in as I'm bringing my heel towards my butt. So again, typically when I have people do this, it's about 10. And then if pain is low and you can tolerate this, what you can do is once you get to the end, you can oscillate the knee into internal rotation, or the tibia into internal rotation. And then you relax and you bring it out. bring it in, and then you rotate it inward. And then you relax and you bring it out. Bring it in, and then you relax again. You would do this for a minute or so. And as you're done with this and you feel like it's a little bit looser, you can reinforce it with a knee bending exercise. So another one that I like to do is you can sit up at the edge of a table, and what you can do is we just worked on this leg, so you take the other leg and then you bend it as far as you can go to get the maximum amount of bending. So you can reinforce that with an exercise after a manual technique. So that way you get the best bang for your buck. Usually when I have people do this, any stretches to go into bending or straining, you're holding it for 30 seconds and I have people repeat it 2 to 3 times. So after you work on straightening and bending, you can work on strengthening of your leg. So another exercise you can do is, this is a classic PT exercise. It's a straight leg raise. So you start with this exercise on your back. You bend the other knee. We're working on our left leg here. You take your toes and you point it towards you. As you do that, you create tension in the entire leg. And then from there, you just lift it up to the height of the other knee. And you bring it down, tap the heel. Keep the leg tight as you bring it down. Tap the heel and then bring it right back up. So the leg should stay flexed the entire time. There should be tension as you're doing this. And at this point, since we're working on strengthening, we're just knocking out reps at this point. So I usually have my folks do this 2 sets of 15. You do what you can. You can start with 10 and then build yourself up to 20 and then build yourself up to 30 from there. But the most important thing in terms of the key points for this exercise is point your ankle towards you, make sure the leg's tight, the entire leg, and you lift this up to the height of the other knee. For me, it's about right there, and then you tap the heel on the table. And you don't bring this down, and then you relax the leg. You keep it tight the entire time. And then you're just knocking out reps at this point. So the next one is actually a leg raise on your side, which works on your hip. So you want to lay on your right side. We're focusing on the left side again. You want to roll on your right side completely. You're not like this. You want to be on it. You want to be on your right hip completely. So if you were to draw a line through your left hip, it would go straight to your right hip. So the bottom leg is bent, top leg is straight, the ankle can be neutral, and all you're really doing is lifting it up to your side. That's all you're doing. So the angle of where you lift matters. If you have your leg a little bit forward, it's not going to target the hip muscles that we want, which is the gluteus medius. If you have it forward, you're going to use more of your hip flexors. This is going to be an easier exercise. It's not going to be what we want to do. You want the leg either by your side or a little bit behind you. In fact, a little bit behind you is better because then you bias the glutes a little bit more. So you want to have that a little bit back. If you look down towards this way and then you see your knee, it's probably a little bit too far in front of you. You want it a little bit back where you almost can't see it. So then that way, when you lift it up, where you should really feel it is right here. Right up in your buns is where you should feel it. I mean, you might feel a little bit in your quads because you're keeping the knee straight, but the majority of the time, you should feel it in your butt. That's where you should be feeling the burn. And again, I have people usually do this 2 sets of 15 if they can. Start with what you can do. Start with 10. Build yourself up to 20 and then 30 from there on and out. Just like this. Biggest thing is keep your knee straight and leg the hip back a little bit versus doing it forward like that. You can give this a try. It's a lot easier when it's forward versus backwards. So the next exercise is a bridge. So something to work on your glutes. There's a lot of strong research and correlation that goes with stronger glutes is associated with lower knee pain. So this especially in the knee arthritis population. So you want to lay on your back to start off. With both your feet and your knees, you want to have them about a little bit wider than shoulder width apart. So you don't want to be here. So for me, it's about here. And all you're going to do, you're going to press down on your heels, apply most of the pressure on your heels. When you do that, you bias the glutes a little bit, squeeze your butt, and as you squeeze, you lift. You don't want to lift so much where you feel this in your back. That should not be the case. If you feel this in your back, you're hyperextending you're bringing your hip up way too high. And then you want to bring this back down. As you bring this back down, you don't want to come collapsing down. You want to control the descent. Okay? So to recap, couple second hold up at the top, and then go ahead and bring this down. Couple second hold, bring this down. Build yourself up again. Start with 10, progress yourself to 20, and then 30, there for and out. I usually have my folks do this for about 2 sets of 15. So couple second hold, up, down, up, down. That's your bridge. Try these exercises out. Let me know what you think. All of these are done to your tolerance. At no point they should be hurting you. It should not feel like these exercises are hurting you. If you feel a little bit sore, like a workout burn, then we're doing okay. That's all acceptable. Let me know what you think. Give these a try. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.